Welcome back to Session 70, Movie Mental Breakdown, No Good Deed, 2014.
I love the movie mental breakdowns. I do.
They're absolutely enjoyable.
They are, but I feel like this is going to be one that when I was watching this film, because this was actually my first time seeing No Good Deed.
Yes.
And I was quite surprised. I was like, oh, it's done. Like, it went by so quick. Like, normally some of these movies we would do, they're long.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this one was like, oh, it's done. Like,
They
we had the climax already.
Yeah,
Okay.
Right. They was like, nope,
But I'm not mad at
we're
it.
giving it to you and we're done.
Mm-hmm. I am not mad at it. Okay, but this film is starring, of course, we've done a lot of movies with Taraji in it.
Ironically,
I
because
like
that
her.
wasn't on purpose.
Yeah. That lets you know how many black
I do
actors
like
there really
her,
are.
Yeah,
True.
that's true too.
True.
But Taraji Henson plays Terry.
Mm-hmm.
Idris Elba plays Colin.
Mm-hmm.
These are going to be our two main characters of the
Yeah.
film, and then our supporting individuals will be Meg, who is played by Leslie Bibb. She is Terry's best friend. Jeffrey is played by Henry Simmons, who is Terry's husband. Alexis is played by Kate Del Castillo, and she is
Colin's ex-fiance.
and then Ryan, played by Mirage Moonschein, and she is the daughter of not Henry. Sorry, guys, of Terry and Jeffrey, the Rees. Okay, so this film kind of starts off with they're doing some news anchor kind of breakdown scenario of like
Breaking news.
yeah, about a crime and things that have kind of taken place and the trial of Colin.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been put on trial for, well, they were trying to get him for 5 missing women. But they could only get him for manslaughter. That was the only charge they were able to actually get to
He was
stick.
cold-blooded,
He was.
literally.
And they said it was the one of the most brutal murders in history.
But it wasn't enough evidence to actually convict him of those 5 murders. So they had to get him on the lesser charge because he wanted to brawl with somebody in the bar.
About Kate. Excuse me, Alexis.
I thought you said cake at first. I was like, wait, what?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, about Kate, but not the real Kate.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fake
Alexis.
Kate, the Alexis Kate. So he got into a brawl and he served 5 years. And the next scene kind of shows him in front of the parole board, and
I was like, look at this show we getting ready to do. You are a good actress, Colin.
okay, that's what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, oh, we got to put on, our we got to put on our look goods and our, our sound goods and all that that stuff.
It was a very convincing argument. But sir,
No, sir.
your background since childhood been bad.
right.
No, that part when he said, I should not have been angry, I should have been ashamed. I was like, sir, why couldn't you be both?
He was laying it on.
He was laying thick.
Good.
I knew, even if you overlooked that part, I knew he was still narcissistic and acting a fool based off of him gloating about the program he had started. Oh, sir, this
yeah.
not the
Yes.
time to gloat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You came up with a program. You are smart.
Mm-hmm.
And they gonna use it all over the great state of Tennessee, but that ain't got nothing to do with the fact that you out here slaying people because you can't control your emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was trying to use that as a means of I've turned around.
Oh yeah.
Sir, you can still be a killer and have a daycare.
Okay. Because there's plenty of them out there.
Right.
Plenty.
Because we see
Plenty.
what happened not 30 minutes later. Poor little black man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about the chunky guard, but you know.
Child, because when that panelist started reading him,
Dr. Ross.
girl, that face, I was like, he's so
And he
trying to
started-
hide that anger, but that face can't hide
And he
it.
started hearing the way he was hearing the voices.
That disassociation
He
was
was like-
real.
All he needed was an eye twitch.
Was
Yes.
nobody else, y'all let me know, concerned about the fact that this fool was not handcuffed?
Oh, in the parole meeting.
I said, y'all, he was not handcuffed going in or coming. He was just loose.
He wasn't handcuffed
No.
in the van?
No, he
No,
was
no,
handcuffed in the van.
Oh, in the van.
But like walking into there.
Oh, gotcha.
Sitting and talking, and then
Oh, he sure wasn't, now that you
leaving.
say that.
Because when
Yeah.
they did the slow, when he was
Yeah.
still disassociated,
You
I
know
said, "Your
what?
arms is free."
And you know what? And I don't know why I was thinking he was in the prison, but I was like, wait a minute, he can't be in the prison because
They drove him.
Yeah, they drove him.
And see, I feel like that's a not necessarily flight risk, but that is an escape risk. No, we're gonna do this parole hearing in this room in the prison.
In the
Okay.
prison. I don't know why I got to drive you
It's
somewhere.
like, cause y'all was in Knoxville, it was some conference rooms in there.
Plenty.
And my thing is, you on parole for brutally murdering people. Why you ain't got more guards? You got an old man driving and another dude who looked like he can't pick up a sandwich.
We gonna get this old man a name. I'm just gonna call him Francis. A poor Mr. Francis. He just believed in him.
He did.
So much. And
He
then you
played
did
on
him
it.
like that. You could at least let him go.
I know.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, but as we learned, Dr. Ross, when he started reading him about being a malignant narcissist, like he described everything. He was like, you have no empathy. You are a killer. You use violence as a means of solving your problems.
Yes.
You have a history of, degrading others, using them for your advantage.
Something that Dr. Ross said that I was like, ooh, this was something we should have said was the seduction. The seducing, get my words together, Jesus. Seducing the person that you're with, making them feel like, oh, I love
It's
this.
safe.
It's safe. And then also compelled to prove your superiority.
Yep.
And
that
he
was the
did that.
last thing he said. And I was like, come on, Dr. Ross.
It was like he walked right into a conference and
Yes.
said, these are all the definitions.
Yep.
And I will be using them in this parole meeting.
And then he gave examples talking about Jeffrey Dahmer.
Like
And
it
that's
was
when-
when he clicked.
That's when he clicked.
said
It was
he's
like,
he's the crazy.
Look, I was like, he started comparing him to his twin flames.
he did. He was like, I was like, oh yeah, that eye twitch is happening, boy, on the inside.
And because if y'all have been paying attention to the previous podcast sessions, you know that really he's more upset that you compared him than anything. He's not mad.
He's like Jeffrey Dahmer. He got caught.
I
he
know,
went to prison for his stuff.
I'm better than that fool.
Okay,
I
that's
didn't
really
eat my victims. Like, you know,
that's
he
really
was
what it was. He like, how dare you? He got caught for murder. He got caught for multiple murders.
Y'all
I
ain't
only
even
got for
found. Y'all
one.
ain't got evidence of that one either.
Yeah.
Okay,
Man.
it was hilarious. I mean, it was like when I was like, oh, I wonder, like that dissociation, like just hearing the voices like echoing in his head, and I was like, ooh, considering I had never seen this film before, I was like, I wonder if he's gonna jump up and like come across the table,
He
or if
did
he
a
was
little
gonna. He almost did,
Uh-huh.
because he stood up real
He
quick.
tried to hold his composure, but that face wouldn't let him give it up.
Because when he stood up, I was like, oh, here it come. But then he was like, okay.
He had to remember, I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to get out so I can kill some more people.
But you know, when you're dealing with a malignant narcissist, they playing that long game. Like,
He
you gotta
was.
think 5 years you done came up with your game plan.
Yeah.
And was prepared.
Yeah.
Mhm. But what he wasn't prepared for was somebody outsmarting him.
Yeah.
I mean, these people had multiple degrees though. For this movie. So
True.
Yeah.
somebody gonna be smart and
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 effective.
willing to call you out.
I mean, he would have died early in this film if it was me though. Because I'm scary. Oh, you scared me. Shot you accidentally. I'm sorry. Who shot you? You know what I mean?
For sure. I was just waiting on it. I was like, oh my God, when is it coming? Because I was in my head, I was thinking, okay, so he going to end up getting like 5 more years, and then he going to be in there 10 years, and then he going to really be off his rocker then. But that's not what happened. He decided, I'm going to do it immediately when I leave the facility.
And then the thing about it is, when he shot the gun, when you looked back at him, he looked like he had never shot a gun before. Like he looked shocked.
Huh. I didn't catch that.
I was like, dude, you a killer. What are you doing? Why do you look like that?
He was like, oh, Mr. Francis. I was like, why you play on that man's emotions like that? He was really, and I was like, Mr. Francis, this is why you shouldn't have been working on the job. You should have been like handing out the food or something or giving out the commissary. You didn't need to be transporting the prisoners because you were too sweet and too nice of an old man. And he was like, come on, Colin, please don't do it. And Colin said, F you, bang, bang.
Right. And my thing is with Mr. Francis, I was like, Colin, they already know you escaped.
Right.
Well, Mr. Francis can't even see you good. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on now.
Like, you ain't had to kill that man like that.
Or the big dude.
Now, he was going to get killed because he didn't like him. I knew that was going to
I
happen.
knew he was going to kill him because he had a smart mouth.
I know he was going to do it, but you didn't have to do it.
You didn't have to.
That was because you wanted to.
Yeah.
That was purely, I think Mr. Francis was more of a like, I can't let you see me like that. But the other dude was definitely like, yeah, you getting on my nerves. Trying to
and
talk
it
all
could
that
have been
mess.
why he looked the way he looked because I think he shot Mr. Francis last.
Because he was driving.
Yeah, so I think that maybe that was why he looked the way he looked, like, oh man, I just shot the old man, but not that he had remorse.
No, because he still got out and proceeded to escape.
Right.
So the brief like nanosecond of remorse that he had was like, oh, okay, now here you go.
The thing is, he came out of prison killing almost the same number he went in. Like, I'm like, God dang, your number went up to 10 quick.
It did.
Or 9.
In one day.
Like,
yes.
Sir, why are you so angry?
And that's what I wrote in my notes. I was like, you can see, like, if you pay attention to his face, like, you can see dissent, like, building internally for him. And, he played into that whole idea of the malignant narcissist is that again, the long game. He played on the niceness of this old man. He probably, who knows all the backstory. He could have gotten it to where this old man was the one that was his driver. Like, hey, Mr. Francis, man, I got my parole board meeting next week.
You should drive me there.
Yeah. And of course, it's about playing on people's weaknesses.
Yep.
So if he was a kindly old man, then that would have been easy for him to play on and be like, oh yeah. Oh man, I hope you've been doing so good. And I just want to see you out there doing good, man. Gotcha. That's it.
It was so sad though.
It was.
Another part that I appreciated Dr. Ross talking about, because when the other dude was reading off what had happened, he was real basic with what it was. He was just like, he got into a bar fight, he killed somebody, blah blah blah.
He was.
And Dr. Ross was like, nah,
He
what
said,
actually
record
happened
scratch.
was he brutally beat and murdered somebody in a bar because he looked at his girlfriend.
Oh yeah,
It was. I remember that.
Yeah,
I was like, just because he, first of all, sir, eyeballs are not stationary. So how do you know that he actually looked at her?
right.
And how far gone do you gotta be to beat and murder somebody in a bar? Because I can imagine what type of bar it was based off of kind of who she was in the movie or whatever. It wasn't, you wasn't in Oak Cliff. Like, you was in the white people part of town.
Yeah.
Because she go to bistros and stuff,
She did.
Yeah, meeting people in the middle of the day.
That's his specialty.
Yes. And I did think that was odd, that level of
Anger, rage.
There you go. Like, it's one thing to be angry. It is another thing to have rage and to beat someone to death.
Yeah.
Like the amount of, just think, if anybody has ever punched a person, it is not a comfortable thing. Like, it is very,
It hurts.
Yeah.
it hurts to actually punch someone, let alone be punched. So then for you to take that and then beat someone to death,
Yeah.
like, you have, like, there's a little switch in there that has just clicked off.
So either you have enough rage in you to make you strong enough to only hit them once or twice, so it's done, or you have enough rage in you that you done hit somebody several times, like you're describing.
Yeah, overkill.
Well, based off of what we gonna see later, we know it's the latter. It was a lot. I was just looking like, ooh, Lord.
Just in that little, what, maybe the 10,
The
15
intro,
minutes
yeah.
of the intro.
Yeah.
So then we cut over to Terry and her house, and she's got, the super mom thing going on, and she's, trying to, I can't tell what they're having done on their house.
The entire home is being remodeled.
Okay,
It looks like it probably was something old.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't tell either.
Yeah.
I didn't know if they was putting on an addition or
Yeah.
It was a complete remodel, and I think that also goes along with when Meg enters and she's talking about that ugly house that she just sold. So I think that area is just older homes.
Gotcha.
Maybe up and coming.
Mhm.
Okay. Because I was like, something, I don't understand what's happening here. But they were having some work done on the house. So, of course, plot point, the house is going to be unsecured. And, again, plot point. No, let's back up some. Terry's friend, Meg comes over. She's doing her run. But I can't remember if Jeffrey got home first.
No, Meg came first.
Meg came first. Oh, and set up the girls' night. That's right. So Meg comes, and they doing that girl thing, and she's like, "Oh my God, you're so wonderful." No, you're so wonderful. And she's like, "You need, rest." Of course, because she does seem like she's working a lot, even though she's a stay-at-home.
She just birthed the baby.
Yeah, like she's working on top of being a stay-at-home mom. Not working like in the field working, but like trying to manage the renovations on the house.
She probably got some postpartum going on because that baby is young.
Yeah, he was still breastfeeding.
Yeah.
And was an arm baby. So she's got a lot going on. So then, of course, her friend's like, "No, girl, we need to have a girls' night because you need to, unwind and all this good stuff." So she was down for it, which I was very appreciative to see that she didn't say no, it's okay, girl, I'm fine, don't worry about it. Like she was like, no. Yes, come today.
Right. No, that only happened with the hubby.
And I want to drink wine.
I'm like, how I done pushed out both these kids, and I'm just here by myself. I wish I would. It's gonna be a problem.
Yes. So then hubby gets home and immediately rejected her when she tried to hug him. But I felt two kind of ways about that because I was like, I wouldn't want to be hugged and my spouse had throw up on them either. So I was like,
but it's the best throw up ever because it's breast milk throw up.
I get what you're saying, but I would have been like, I don't give two shits, nigga. I mean, sorry.
I'll leave it in.
This your baby throw up. I ain't want to throw up on me either. You think I won't throw up on me?
Which is basically what she did.
Right.
But I was like,
but I understand.
Yeah, I understand. I don't think that his response probably was the way he said it.
He was a little narcissistic.
Yeah, because he was too. I was saying that in some of my notes that he had some little narcissistic tendencies himself. So I was like, I feel two ways about it.
And I think I may have felt the way I felt about it because of what the friend had just said, like he don't appreciate her.
Right.
So I think that's why I took that.
Which is
for sure. I agree too.
And I think she probably just forgot that she had spit up on
Right.
her.
Well, of course she ripping and running and trying to take care of two children.
Haggard. Like she looks like I don't remember when I washed my butt.
I don't even remember that I put this shirt on.
Yeah, she looking like somebody's like, can I please have some
adult
assistance?
time?
Like, why are you not helping me? And I hate the word helping just like you do, Dr. Strickland, but I'm just like,
but still,
sir,
help me,
ninja.
Yes, I did think that. And I was like, I couldn't tell what type of manipulation he was using. I was like, is he guilt tripping her? Is he gaslighting her?
Gaslight and guilt trip.
Both. Okay, because I wrote both of those down. I was like, I don't know if he's guilt tripping her or gaslighting her about the trip with the father.
Oh, yeah.
Because she
think
was
it was
like,
both.
do you really need to go? And he was like, it's my father's birthday. And
when it really wasn't even your father. But go ahead. We'll get there later.
But also, like, I don't like the part when she was, trying to say, hey, I need to go to the store.
That too.
Because you don't want me to feed these kids and myself. You already done left me with no help. And then we go through this. And so now I got to take both of the kids.
And you get ready to pack.
That's all
Why
you
can't
doing.
I go to the store? First of all, I can't stand it when women who have children with their husbands say, I gotta ask my husband to babysit. Babysit? These his kids.
Yes.
No, I'm going to the store. No, I'm going bye.
Yeah, I hated that. I did hate that part because I was like, that shows again more of what the friend was talking about. Her friend was like, look, he doesn't appreciate you, and the fact that he would prioritize packing over spending the last few moments with his children before he went on his trip. Because it sounds like you're driving, so it's not like you're gonna be late.
to an airport.
Wasn't a Tyler Perry film, even though this ain't a Tyler Perry film. The other part that got me was, well, you said you wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, sir.
Yeah.
That part.
I will punch you in your throat.
It was lots of narcissism
He's
flying through here.
I didn't want this. You wanted this.
Yeah,
He's a covert.
he is.
And can we say weaponized incompetence?
Ooh. Yeah.
We can talk about that too. We need to
He
put that
did.
on an episode, a session.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was a lot.
Yeah, because even when she said, let's just go away, and and he said, yeah, we can do that, and walked off, I was like, ugh, I wouldn't have wanted to go with you nowhere after
Because it's
that.
almost like he turned his wife into a pick-me.
Yes.
Yeah. And did you see how much she poured into that kiss when she was on the bed trying to ask him why he ain't got the correct coat?
And I was like, and you got
Peep
these dress shoes?
Peep her. She know. She may be ignoring some things, but she knows something ain't
peeped that,
adding up.
When she said that, I was like, he ain't going.
And
I
you
knew
gonna
it
be
too.
outside? You better get this coat. I done bought it. Or we
I
bought
felt
it,
that too. I was
technically.
like, she knows something ain't right. And when I was looking at him pack, I said, why are you packing dress shoes to go on a golfing trip? Why you don't have golf shoes in there? Why you taking a button down? That ain't the type of attire you wear when you go play golf. So I was like, somebody not going to play golf
Yeah.
with their father.
Are you going more than playing golf?
Well, anyway, so next scene, we find Colin driving around in somebody's car he done stole.
That's why I don't understand, sir. How did you get these perfectly fit clothes?
He did.
See, look at
he
sexy.
is charming.
I know.
is.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
He is.
Idris is fine.
He is. Lord Jesus. This would have been one of those scenes that my husband would have irritated him, because he's like, you cannot hotwire cars like that anymore. I don't know why they keep showing that in movies, because you cannot hotwire cars like
But
that.
you know, it might have worked on this particular one because it was an older model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I see that in a movie, I'm like, oh, this would really irritate him. But anyway, so we learn that he is stalking somebody. Now, what we don't know at that time is it's his ex-fiance. But we see her at some sort of cafe or something, having lunch or something with a man.
With a big scarf around his neck.
And who clearly looks like he's a part of the community.
Yes. Yeah, the alphabet mafia.
Yes.
Yes.
And then, excuse me. So then she drives home or goes home, and she doing her little thug thizzle when she get in the house, as we all do. Put your phone down, put your bag down, you start kind of moseying around, and
Putting up
then
the groceries.
then enters nobody else but Colin.
I mean, he walked in real smooth, but it would have scared the mess out of me.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Of course. And this, when I was watching this part, I was like, man, can you imagine the fear that you would feel knowing that your ex is supposed to be in prison? Like right now, he's supposed to be in the jail.
Nobody notified
But is in my
nothing.
house.
That's what I didn't understand. Like, this dude done broke out of jail, and y'all just act like he hasn't.
It ain't no all points bulletin on the radio.
No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I think the only thing that saves this part of the movie is because we know that it is the same day. That is it. That is it. Because if this had been days, I'd have been like, so wasn't nobody gonna call this girl? Nobody called the families.
Nobody.
Like, because there's 5 other victim families. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And why she ain't got no
She just
security?
moved in. She just, hey, I'm
But
just
you know,
saying.
but you know, in
were-
movies, people don't lock their doors.
They
They just close them and
they
keep
d-
moving.
that is true
And
too.
keep moving.
But she supposedly just moved into the house, so maybe she made the appointment. They ain't made it there yet.
The level of fear that I saw on her face would tell me that should have been the first thing you had. You know what I mean? And
Like
a
before you
weapon.
even moved in.
Yes.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And she played her with this scene. This scene she played real well.
She did. Yeah, she definitely played the fear factor really well.
And which I thought was, now she's His other moment, she was a little stupid, but
Mm-hmm.
this moment, I was like, okay, you playing smart. You know, you're not supposed to like try and combat with a narcissist. You know, you're not supposed to try and
Especially
argue. You're
that
doing
type.
right. You doing real good. Okay, okay.
Except you
No,
with a smart man. So
Because and I was thinking that too the whole time. I was like, girl, he just setting you up.
Right. You should have just
So
told
you
the truth.
love me? Yeah. I would have been like, I've been dating some people, but now that I know you out, let's do this thing.
Exactly.
I go with you forever.
See, and I had put that in my quotes. I was like, "Oh, I said he knew she was lying," and I put it in quote. You still love me, and I was like, "Girl, that sealed your deal right there." That soon as whatever the next thing came out of your mouth was gonna be your
fate.
the beginning or the end for you.
All the evidence that he had.
The
All of
letter.
it. First of all, why you got these letters that this man done sent you, but you ain't read them?
Right.
Throw them in the trash.
Yeah.
Right.
Burn them.
And-
Whatever you need to do.
And how is Jeffrey spending the night at your house able to leave a note on your pillow?
And you married with 2 children,
Well,
but he's
obviously
sneaking
he
off to go see his dad.
But obviously he ain't doing the work he need to be doing. Let me say this before we go on. Most individuals who decide to cheat on their significant other ain't doing the things that they think they doing.
True.
Oh yeah.
Because if you was really about that tribe life, you would be able to do it to everybody and have multiple homes and be able to afford them. You just out here being an F-boy.
Good point.
Because ain't nobody said you can't have no polyamory if that's your thing.
Oh,
I
true.
can't do it because
That's
I'm a
not your
Scorpio.
life.
I'm possessive. So I don't have the capacity. But if that is your lifestyle, then why everybody don't know that? Why you creating these
Exactly.
falsehoods?
Yep.
For no reason.
Yep.
For no reason. But maybe, man, her fate was sealed.
Yeah.
And she knew it then.
Yeah.
She knew it. From there, now it was like, I got to find some way to get out. Because then she started being more combative with him. And it's like, baby girl.
That's the wrong thing,
you
ma'am.
know, you watched this man beat someone to death for you.
And then
Or
she
in
brought
his
up-
mind for
for
you.
you,
In
yeah.
his mind for
Yeah.
you.
And when she started becoming more combative, like what really sent him over the edge was the fact that you over here talking about the 5 people, like you bringing up his faults. You talking to a narcissist. You can't do that.
You
Not
know,
this
that
level.
ego.
And she said, I done had sex several times in this bed.
You want to know? Okay, you want to die, ma'am.
Yeah.
He
Like
gonna
you
unalive you.
should have controlled your temper because he ain't gonna control his.
No, and that thing started again.
Yeah,
He
That's
done got on
dissociation.
his knees and put his hands in his his face in his hands. Child, that was over.
Oh, yeah.
because
said,
I would have been
"Ooh."
begging, babe, please take me back. I'm so sorry.
Girl.
Because the
enough
point,
to get whatever it
the
is to
point-
get you
exactly.
out of that space.
Yes.
Live another day until you can for real escape.
Yep.
Like this ain't for play.
Because you can't. You're not. This is not one you're gonna fight. You're not gonna win this one.
And that's the thing with the malignant type, you know, that she knew it, but you can become, what's the word I'm looking? Arrogant. I feel like that's too strong of a word, but for a moment and forget the devastation that this person can cause because you become tired.
Or she forgot. She thought
That.
that he loved her too much to kill her.
I got some on top of that.
Yeah.
Now she was living that side piece life. That's what it was.
That's true.
She was smelling herself.
Yeah, of course. Well, one, if he's never hurt her in that way before, yes, you overvalue your status in this person's
Yeah.
life, forgetting that with any version of narcissist, but especially the malignant type, you hold no value.
Yep.
You only hold a value that's good to me.
Mm-hmm.
And once that value is gone, I don't need you anymore.
Yep.
Nope.
And in his case, the version he takes is you're not going to be here no more because I don't need you.
Because you already done moved on.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna move on without me.
Like he charged her up from the beginning. It was very covert at first. Accusing her of sleeping with the trainer that is obviously gay, all the way to the end.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Yeah. Well, this makes me think that, again, she didn't really realize she may have known who she was with, but didn't fully appreciate who she was with, because my thing was, how come there wasn't a safety plan in place? Because at some point he was going to get out. He was only in prison for voluntary manslaughter. So the amount of time he was going to be in prison was not going to be for the rest of his life anyway.
Well, the thing about it is, if she would have read his letters, she probably would have known he was going to be up for parole.
Possibly. You
It's
know,
weird.
and that, you know, how come the parole board, like, how come, you know, she didn't know any of this stuff even without his knowledge or his you know, kind of giving information.
Out of sight, out of mind. I feel like when you've had an experience like to this level, like, I'm gonna be paying attention
Yeah.
because I'm gonna forever not be okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm gonna do my therapy and do my stuff that I need to do,
Of course.
but I'm still gonna be like, okay, that ain't him, that was somebody else. Or like, let me make sure I know when he's going for what. I'm probably gonna be there.
That's what I was just going to say. She probably should have either been there or should have had somebody go for her so she can make sure she knew what happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In this scene though, a part that shows like his level of depravity though is like when he's saying, I'm so sorry, and she think he apologizing for how he didn't talk to her, but no, he's apologizing because he's about to murder you.
Yes.
Like, ma'am,
Viciously.
like, he about to give you
Because he hit her.
all of that.
He hit her.
Back up.
What did he choke her first?
He strangled her, then he broke her neck, and then he beat her with a vase. Lamp.
Yes.
I said, well, okay, tell me about your limbic rage. Okay.
Yeah, and the thing was that I noticed in that is that he waited a second between each one. It wasn't like boom, boom, boom. It was like strangle, and then it was like
Crack.
crack, and then he waited a second or a few seconds, and then beat her.
I mean, the level was the anger was escalating, but
And
he
that's
still
that,
was thinking.
Oh yeah, and that's that ego break.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when that ego has been bruised and the reality of I'm not as great as I believe I am just can't be handled. Because that's it's essentially what she did. When she finally was like, oh, you want to know the truth? Okay. Oh, I can't handle being rejected in that way. How dare you reject me? What do you mean you couldn't wait 5 years? You should have waited 25 years, you know, because of me. And this is just your fault that I'm in this position, and and escalation. And, you know, then we're
At the vicious tantrum.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So if you are dating someone that has this narcissistic personality,
Be careful.
Be careful, and do not fall for the trickery of, do you love me? Answer yes. Yeah.
Because it's safety first.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, like Dr. Wall was saying, live another day until you can create a plan that's going to get you out of there safe and sound.
And don't give in to letting them know.
No, they don't even know nothing.
They don't need it. Needs to be so secret.
Oh, for sure.
Like, just let them have the house. They can have your clothes too.
I don't need
Just leave
nothing.
everything there.
You alive, you can start over.
Yep.
All of it. So then he gets into a car accident somehow.
Well, it's the rain for one, but then he's disassociating again.
Oh, that's right.
Because he's thinking about the
But I also don't think
unaliving.
he had the defrost on
He didn't.
because he was wiping the window.
Obviously, he's not,
Probably don't know how to use it.
because it's not his.
Right.
All of those
It
things.
probably actually is her car that he wrecked, because I think what he stole originally was a white van.
Oh,
Gotcha.
So,
Well, he, between all of these factors, gets into a car accident, and the way they make it look like he got impaled by a tree. But
that's not what happened.
but that's not what happened. But that's how the scene looks. But then we cut back to Taraji, and you know she just in there just living her best life in the house,
Being a mom.
with all the lights on, with no blinds. I will never understand. This is a personal thing, guys. I cannot stand to see people's house at night and they blinds is open, or they don't have blinds at all, or no curtains, and it's just like all your stuff is just open. My neighbors across the street, I can see clear into their bedrooms. I can see what y'all watching on TV. I can see y'all getting up out of y'all bed.
Maybe
like,
they're exhibitionists. Oh.
I mean, this is a house full of people, so they must all be exhibitionists. I'm just like, your living room. I'm like, I can see everything that you got. I can see all that you own. Like,
It bothers me. Now I know there are sometimes like you forget, because I know with me working from home this week, I noticed that I'd be like, oh, it's done got dark. Let me go close these blinds, but I still be like, shh, because I be paranoid.
mm-hmm.
I'm where I'm staying.
Dusk.
You know,
That
it
is
be
my
a little
cue.
country. You know,
I hit that little twirly thing, and I'd be like, bloop, bloop, bloop.
I be paranoid.
Mm-mm. And let me close my curtains just as an extra. I don't want nobody seeing in my house. That's just a, it's a
Security.
it's a security thing for me. It's a, a safety thing, especially, it's been a very long time since I've lived alone, but like just knowing, when you're at the house alone, even though I don't live alone, I am at my house by myself, at times at night. And it's like,
People are crazy. In case y'all ain't been watching the news, people are crazy.
out here doing all kinds of stuff. So yeah. So I was like, oh, you got 2 children. You got all these, and this is a big house. This ain't like this is an apartment.
No.
Right.
This is a gigantic home. I mean, it looks like it's at least about 4,000 square feet.
For the people who haven't ever seen this movie, their house is like a U shape because you can, and it has like a little garden-esque thing in the middle of it where you can see across to the master bedroom or whatever. Like, this house is huge.
Yes.
But when we were talking about this before we started this session, we was looking like, okay, this was wrong. This was wrong. The garage was wide open. They ain't had I don't think they had a garage door, to be honest. I think they were still working on
that.
it.
Yeah.
Because I
they
don't
was working
remember
on something.
seeing nothing
Come
at
on
the
down.
top.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
So
now that you say it, I don't.
I was like, ma'am, you ain't got
And
no
sir,
weapon?
because you left your wife there like that.
Well, we didn't already said
and
that
you-
he got a lot of BA in him.
Well, he thought that having an alarm was the only thing she was gonna need for security.
Once they get in, what's she gonna do? She gonna throw Junior at her?
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
But here goes Good Samaritan. Mr. Colin shows up on the door with his sob story that I was like, first of all, I wouldn't open my door.
And first of all, you left your daughter in there with a knife. I know it was but a knife, but still, it was a knife.
That too.
And Ryan looked like she about the business. Because Ryan was doing the most the whole movie.
Yes, she was. Oh my God. But I was like, I would not have even answered my door. First of all, I wouldn't have even looked at my peephole because you would have been able to see the light, and then I went like this, and then the light again. So you would have knew I was in the house. So I would have been like, I would have my ear to the door like, let me
Plus,
just
I
wait
done
till they
watched too
leave.
many movies where people done got in the eyeball.
I'm glad at my house, my peephole's covered up, and I look out my window that's on the side by my front door, and I just be like,
I don't even answer my door.
or I look from upstairs and I look down, because you ain't gonna look upstairs to see from there. Like, yeah, I'm good.
But just to speak to Terry's psyche, this is not to this degree, because this is stupidity, but this shows like when you are deprived of something that you should be getting in your home. Like, this is not an excuse for nothing, but it shows how you can let stuff go that you wouldn't normally let go. This fine brother is coming up to your door, because we all know Idris is fine, but at the same time he's complimenting you, he's talking to you, like he's doing all the things that you want him to, but it's just, I was like, but girl, you got babies.
I know. I had wrote that in my notes. I said, I wonder what's going on in her attachment history that she felt comfortable, that she allowed herself to be this level of a good Samaritan.
Yeah, because he wasn't charming until later.
Like,
you know
in
what
the
I mean?
house.
Right. And I guess my thing is, you were already hesitant. You should have listened to that instinct.
And he was already wet. So
Right.
you sitting in the rain ain't gonna be no more than you're already soaking wet. So I'm sorry. Yes, sir. First of all, I still wouldn't open the door, but had I opened the door, the next thing, I'm not letting you in, sir. You already drenched.
You're not even getting ready to use my phone. Go. I don't know how you gonna do it.
But I'm sorry, our phone is not connected yet, and I don't know where my cell phone is. I wouldn't have gave all this information,
Right.
but I just would have been making.
But
up
based
stuff.
off the based off the way the
Yes.
movie played out.
Yeah, no, it would be none of this. No, I don't. I don't. Yeah, I'll call the tow truck company for you. Where you car at? Up the street. Okay, I'll call them for you.
Go ahead that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need a Band-Aid? Let me get the Band-Aid. I'm gonna lock this door each time. That was bothering me too.
Because she left the door cracked one time.
The second
The
time.
second time, I'm like, ma'am, you don't care about your kids at all.
I know. I wrote so many times in here. I have like "and" capitalized like so many times in here. I was like, you talked to him and you left the door open and you let him in and you left your child and you. I was like, it's so many ands.
But when that little baby came up and hit him in the shoulder, I was
She
like,
knew. Ron said,
you
Mama.
look like you somebody I need to hit.
because she a superhero.
You're right.
She was. That was so funny.
Man.
Man. And I was thinking, you know, when they were in there talking and she was talking about being a DV prosecutor. And I was like, ma'am, you worked in DV and you don't see what's happening here?
Right.
No. She worked in beyond DV, technically domestic violence, y'all. She was one of them ones that was doing she was like SVU level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't see the signs.
That's what I was thinking. How do you not see what's happening here?
But you telling him what you used to see, and you reading him. You saying exactly
And he
him.
was so mad at her.
Yes, he was.
He was like, "Oh,
Well,
really
I'm
now?"
not gonna drink my tea then. That's how he was looking. And we know he loves a spot of tea, you know. But it also cracked me up because she was like, "Yeah, they stupid." Like,
Yes.
he was like, we saw the old her come out. I was like, okay, she gonna be about it in this movie, okay. But I
And
was
like
mad
she
at
basically
her.
was like, they're beyond stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, she just told him all the way up and didn't even know it. Which is like the ironic thing, because you're saying this was your specialty, yet you are so absent-minded
She's complacent.
in all of this. Like you, she went by the philosophy that everybody's inherently good. You know, because in school, you know, we learn about being either inherently good or inherently bad, and you know, some people fall on one side of the camp in their belief system, and she fell on the inherently good.
Yeah.
I'm
Like
looking
it's
at
the middle
you,
of the
gonna
night.
show me.
It's the middle of the night. Some random person shows up on your door with a sob story. You let them in. They semi-flirt with you.
After you done told them that your husband is not there, and they know you married, so they still flirting. They still trying to, you know, this is where the charm and stuff starts to happen with Colin. But I'm looking like, girl, if you don't go find you a battery operated boyfriend and get somewhere and sit down,
Okay.
we not fit to do this.
No, because I was like, he was really laying the flirtation on thick.
Yeah.
The way he took them wet clothes off, though.
And she was
And
looking
in
at
that
that dark
kitchen, I
chocolate. I was
said-
like, man, that dark chocolate to get you every time, man. You better stop looking at that chocolate.
Cacao. Because
You had
she
to go to
was
Africa for that.
she was looking, and I was like, girl,
I
get
said
it
and
together.
And he had the little cuts in this movie. I said, don't you have that V? I said,
Pointing down there.
focus. He's a murderer. Okay, he's a murderer.
Okay, we know that.
Right.
She didn't know that at the time.
No.
She's like, oh, he's just a little old country boy, because he had this weird country accent in this film. I was like, he just a little old country boy, so he's so sweet. No, ma'am, he's a killer.
And that was the one thing that I was thinking about women as well. When she said, when they was drinking the tea, and she said, well, when I first met him, I was independent, I was strong, I was powerful. And I was like, you know, that's the thing about when women get married. They make changes, which is fine, but they tend to make changes for their husband to become the woman the husband think they want, instead of becoming the woman you need to become. And then that's how you lose your husband, because he was in love with you because you were independent, strong, power. Now you seem like you just flock at his feet, pick me.
I wouldn't even say that part, because I feel like this particular husband probably was looking for the trophy. Because I feel like if he was truly wanting someone that was as fiery as his wife appears to be later in the movie, I don't think he would have been cool with her going straight to what is it called? Being a housewife, being a stay-at-home mom. He seems like he's all about the way, like we said, he got a touch of narcissism in him too.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just Jeffrey was getting on my nerves. I think I hate Jeffrey more than I hate Colin.
No
Because
joke.
Colin,
We knew what to expect from him.
He's a open book.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that. So what I took from Jeffrey was the power couple.
Yes.
That was the mindset that he believed that they would be the power couple, and she no longer fit that bill, like because you're no longer in the field, you don't have that recognition anymore. You've kind of tainted my image now because we're not this quote unquote strong black power couple. That was kind of the headspace that I came from.
I can see that.
But one of the things that I was thinking about in this whole scene was, how are you going to get out of this lie? Like, you told this man your husband wasn't home and that he was on his way back, but you know that he's not on his way back, and then you let this man in your house anyway.
Well, she was hoping the tow truck company was going to be there before she had to come out of the lie.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said this before, hope is a hell of a drug. Because that hope led you to the rest of the things that will take place, the rest of this movie. But I was like, you lied, which that's not necessarily the thing, but it was your subsequent choices after that made your lie even more detrimental to your own safety.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So-
she looked at him like it was her, like she was looking at herself. Like, I'm a good person, so this got to be a good person.
Mm-hmm. Expecting you out of other people.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do that. Because I wrote in my notes, I was like, girl, are you dumb or just dumb? I was like, especially when he started like walking around her house.
Oh,
Well, that camaraderie, built right before that because that alarm went off on the car.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, we solved a problem. Well, she was like, we solved a problem. And then I was like, ma'am, you got kids.
That's what I kept writing
I
that in my
kept-
notes.
me too.
I kept writing that. I said, how you gonna leave him alone in the house
He's
with
just
your child?
meandering slowly, looking at you half naked, and then you okay with him coming in your bedroom, posting up.
My thing is
at
that
the
black
door.
shadow, at the door. I would have been like, sir.
He gave her that Lorenz Tate, Love Jones lean against the wall.
And now you're backed in, like you're closed into.
And can't get to your children.
Right.
Or
The
leave.
choices. It's the choices for
First
me.
of all, you got a whole stranger in your house. Why are you taking your clothes off?
I get you might have been a little wet
I'm going to keep
in
them
more
on.
ways than one.
I know.
But, ma'am,
Still.
you have a young daughter
And a baby.
and a baby, and your house is in a your nursery is nowhere near your master bedroom.
Mm-mm. At all.
It's just too many things.
Yeah, it was too many. Because then that's when she finally started getting nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, now you're getting nervous?
You should have
Now.
got nervous when you opened the door the first time.
And plot point, she baby glad the doorbell rang and
Good old Meg.
Good old Meg came in
Clutch.
for a moment to save the day.
Mm-hmm.
Because Meg, she immediately was like,
Who is this?
She was peeping the lie real quick.
Who is this and why are you here?
She was like that to every man in her life. I don't like none of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I appreciated her intuition about him. But that lets you know she probably deal with a whole bunch of narcissists. So she's used to looking and speaking to men that try to dance around the subject.
And she's a real estate agent, so she got to be able to read people pretty quickly.
Well, she saved her life.
She
When
did.
that tree branch saved her life
For a
the first
second.
time. Mm-hmm.
Because she was going in on that address.
So what's your address? Because I'm a real estate agent. He's like, oh, I done messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
and as he disassociates
because she just
again.
sold a house over there.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if he was going to give her the address that she just, because I think she sold the house to Alexis.
I was wondering that, and I was like, I wonder if I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, is he gonna give her the address? And she's gonna be like, really? I just sold that house to whatever Alexis. Let's call her and see if she wants to. I was like, but
I wouldn't have been surprised.
But again, I didn't know because it's my first time seeing this film. But that's not how it went. And of course, plot point: a tree branch randomly falls in the kitchen. I was like, how bad is this storm out here? Y'all making this like this tornado weather out here, and like wind gusts of like 100 miles an hour, but ain't nothing else happening but one tree branch or one tree broke in half or whatever and fell through the kitchen window at the perfect time to make Meg forget about everything she was just saying for a hot second.
Not really, but to go save a friend who was screaming. Ma'am, it's a branch.
Then they get to drinking more wine, getting loose off the goose. And then they, he was just over there just completely gone while they was just talking about their little college and how they met each other. He was not trying to hear none of that.
And she was peeping his zone. His mind was wandering.
Oh, yeah.
Meg was on it.
She was. Because I was like, what is he really thinking about? Like, was he thinking about Terry? Was he thinking about Meg?
I think he was thinking about Alexis.
Or Alexis?
Because they kept seemingly having flashbacks.
I low-key kept thinking at this part, is he trying to replace Alexis with Terry now that he knows like more of her story? Like, okay, I can take her. And I can build my own family.
I thought that when he took them to the house, that's when I was like, you trying to do a makeshift family?
Honestly.
Replace Alexis?
When he was in that baby bedroom. We ain't there yet, but
yeah, but the spiral is happening.
Yes.
And it's starting to happen quickly. So this is another thing that, if you're dealing with a malignant narcissist, once that spiral start, it is definitely difficult for them to get out of it. And he is spiraling fast at this point. And he's now drinking on top of this. So he's already his ego's been bruised several times that day.
By several people.
Starting early in the day with the parole,
Ross.
with the parole board, and then having to kill Mr. Francis, and then getting rejected by Alexis, and then now
getting read by Terry,
and slight read by Meg.
Yep.
The first time.
Yep.
The first
It's
time.
about to get worse, but yeah.
So, I mean, the ego is just taking jab,
and
jab.
even the baby who punched him.
Yes.
Oh,
and
man.
the tree that hurt him. It's not your day, so you should have waited and started over.
Yeah.
You should have just went back to prison, sir. But man, so then, they drinking and doing what they do. And I was like, when Meg asked, did y'all know each other before something? And he said, yes.
I was like, Lord, here we go.
I said, he's starting to plan right now. That's really what he was over there doing.
Yep.
How can I make this plan work?
Yeah.
To explain why I'm here.
Yeah. Because Terry got up because the baby cried. And then he was like, oh, smoke break. Where can I go to smoke? In the unfinished garage that's open.
And then she went out there with him.
I was like, why did you go out there?
Now, this is a moment to all our Caucasian listeners, okay? This is where you shouldn't have gone. You don't need to know everything. Sometimes you need to have some self-preservation. Spidey sense.
Because I would have went with my friend and been like, girl, we need to get the out of here.
Because I don't trust this fool.
Something in my spirit is saying, get out.
Yeah.
Because I would not have been following him. Because you're already getting the vibes.
Right.
So why you got to confirm the vibes? Vibes is enough.
I would have been like, you know what? We got to go to the store and get some wine. So we just going to take the kids for a little joyride. And
I'd have been like, wait for Jeffrey here. Take him.
Right.
Insurance policy.
Right. Okay.
Take him.
We're like, you know what? The baby won't settle down. We're just going to take the baby for a ride. And, we got to take little baby, little girl.
So then she started getting a little buck with him too. I was like, ma'am, no, don't do that.
I mean, he was somewhat convincing of this fake affair. But she's like, I know my friend.
Yeah, because she was following it for a second. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, she would. And then it was like,
I know my friend.
my friend would tell me if she was having an affair.
Mm-hmm.
She wouldn't feel embarrassed by that. With
Not
me,
to tell me,
not with
'cause
me.
I don't even believe in marriage.
Okay. And I don't even like her husband, so I'd have been glad that she was having an affair anyway.
Exactly. I would have been cheering her on. Girl, you want me to fix you up with somebody else too?
Okay. And he was like, oh, dang, I done slipped up.
He didn't see it. I mean, she didn't see that crazy behind his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I said, ma'am, he done tilted his head, turned his body to you on his smoke break.
Mm-hmm.
No.
She said on his smoke break like he was at work.
Well, he was.
He was.
This is what he does.
Yeah.
True.
And she was out of there. What did he hit her with, a shovel?
The way he knocked her head off her shoulder, I felt like I was watching Death Becomes Her.
Ooh, that's a throwback. That was a good movie. Yeah, he knocked her clean out. I mean, clearly.
I mean,
He knocked her clean off this plane.
Yeah, unalived. I was like,
Um,
oh, Meg, you should have kept your mouth shut.
That's what I wrote. Yes. That's what I wrote in my notes. Ma'am, you should just
Didn't even
not
get
talk.
a fight or nothing.
nothing. Literally.
Hey,
And
Meg.
my thing is, you had the instincts. You said what you had to say, and you turned your back on him. You don't turn your back on them after you done talk crazy.
No, you actually, if you're gonna leave, you back out. You hit that beep,
And you need to know what's
beep,
around you for a
beep.
weapon, so that you can, when you see them coming, you can grab something too.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna be in here sword fighting.
That was a mess. So
It
then, of
was.
course, here Terry come after she, settles the baby down. And then she like, oh, where Meg at? Oh, and then he like, oh yeah, my plan is in motion. She gone. Really? And then she see the umbrella.
Oh, I thought she saw the coat. I wasn't sure what it was. I
Saw
couldn't
her
remember.
umbrella.
Something she saw.
Cause she went and touched it.
Oh, did she?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And she knew then, oh, now you want to act real scared. You was acting scared at first when he had you cornered in the bedroom, but then your friend kind of broke your defenses down for a second. And now you scared again when you should have been scared from the second he knocked on your door.
Talking about, do you want some water? I'm a little thirsty. And run off. Ma'am, he done cut your lines. It's
all
just
while he
so
was slinking around your house.
Mm-hmm.
He done got your knives.
when he was fixing the
tree
window.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, I said, you got to do better.
Okay. And this was the first time I wrote, why don't people do the double tap? Because she hit him over the head with something.
The fire extinguisher.
Oh, no,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right. She hit him in the face with the fire extinguisher. And he rolled down the stairs. I would have been
Sprayed
going
him
to
and hit him.
town on him with that fire extinguisher.
I
Until
would have
the
been
white
following him.
meat.
Right. I would have been following him down them stairs, just continuing to hit him.
I was like, why don't they ever let people in movies? Of course, you got to keep the runtime going.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why you don't do the double tap?
I mean, I would have had a different double tap, but
That too.
sir, and when you look at the next scene after he done got up and you see their height difference, I'm already paranoid. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You look real strong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time to fight you.
Oh, yeah, because, he looked at least to be about 7 or 8 inches taller than her. At least.
Yes.
You know, people like that got a different type of strength.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but we forgot to say, after she was running around and figured out he done cut her phone and took her knives, she's trying to find him. She's like, Colin, trying to act like, ain't nothing happened. This is when she finds this man in her daughter's bedroom playing with her, throwing her up in the air. I was so, like, when I say the level of,
disgusts me.
yeah, I was like, the level of cringe.
Yeah, because I'm like, how she was asleep.
Because he was opening doors peeking. He probably looked at the son first. He was still asleep. You can't do nothing with no baby. And then went on over there with that little girl. Because she ain't asleep. It's too many people in the house that she don't know.
And too much going on. They be wanting to know everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then gave her a
necklace?
memento. 'Cause this way I was like, oh, he's building a family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm going to see you again. No, you're not.
So you broke out of prison. Like,
You have nothing.
have you completely forgotten that there's about to be even if you didn't go through what you went through with this family, there's about to be a manhunt for you. Like,
I'm trying to figure out why there's not already.
The storm. That's the only thing that
I
stopped him.
still don't understand why.
Yeah.
It wasn't already.
I get
because
it.
I don't understand. I know
How
we
the
had
cop, the later
yes,
didn't recognize.
Yes.
Girl, so much, so many plot holes.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so she, he gets down the stairs, she knock him out, da 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 da, and he says they get in the shower.
You missed part. When he walking up them stairs all slow,
Mm-hmm.
she moving all slow because she trying to get these kids.
Oh yeah, of course.
Ma'am, no, you get the baby and daughter, and you just jump out the. Y'all,
She done
y'all
put
ain't
the
that high?
baby in the car. Ma'am, we ain't got time for that carrier.
Paul Ryan done woke up and fell asleep about 17 times in this movie.
Oh no, he'd have been like in my bra, because that would have been
That would have been the carrier right there.
right there.
Little Jeffrey Jr. Mm-hmm.
I'd have been like, let me just band you around like a band. I'm sorry if you get smothered, baby. I'm just gonna poke your head out the hole of the shirt, and we'll deal
We
with any
out.
broken bones later.
Girl, did y'all when he came up the stairs and he told her to put the baby back, did y'all see the fake baby?
I did. I didn't watch. I didn't pay attention to it this time, but I've seen it before. But she's like,
I was like, well, at least he wanted her to put the fake baby down. That's what I put in my notes.
I will say, throughout the film, even though he did not try to hurt the children.
Yeah.
He was at least respectful.
just a normal bargaining piece.
Right. I was like, he did not try to like hold them hostage or hurt them in some kind of way.
Until the cop pulled him over, he held the baby hostage.
But he didn't. It was still loving, at least.
Yeah, he was still
Because the cop was coming to what are you gonna do?
Well, what he did.
because then he had to put the baby back.
Right.
He said, "Oh, she playing with me."
Uh-huh.
He said she thought I was lying. Let me go ahead and put you back in your car seat.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much energy that take to put a baby? First of all, take a baby from the back seat to the front seat.
He
And
did
then-
it so easy.
And then to put them back in the back seat? A baby.
Yes.
Not a toddler. An infant.
First of all, this man. The amount of times this man gonna be hurt in this movie, this tells you the level of rage and
Because he already done had a major head injury.
with
And
a
a stab.
metal fire and shit.
No, the first one
no,
in the car.
Okay, we done fast forwarded. That's why we getting confused.
Yeah,
so we
he
ain't
got
into the
stabbed.
car yet. So we got to rewind.
Uh-huh.
So
The
get in the shower. That's where we need to start.
Yeah, the accident was the first
Yes.
major head injury.
Yes.
With
true.
the tree.
Yep.
With the tree.
one.
That's
Yep.
number one. Then when she bust him with the fire extinguisher,
And now we about to go into the
go into the shower.
Mm-hmm.
And
Lord be offense.
I know, I was like, ugh. But
The way the fineness that was on him in this movie,
That
and the way
back.
he took them clothes off, I said,
That man back is awesome. I love that man back.
yeah, the
yes,
chest region.
yes. All of it was lovely. But
Thank you, Idris,
Thank
for
you
the
visuals.
But what I will say for all my fellow survivors, this is going to be a very triggering scene because it's very demoralizing. It's very
Yeah.
sexualized, and it's a lot of posturing.
Yeah, because he like
yeah.
threw water in her face or something like that, or somehow he like sprinkled through.
Because he wiped it off. I couldn't remember
he
how to.
did something.
yeah.
I can't
made
remember.
her get in the shower with him,
Fully clothed.
fully clothed with the white camisole on.
Mm-hmm.
You stand right there. He was just too much. It was
He
too
was.
much at this point. At this point, I was like,
And then wanted her to change clothes and watch.
And then say, "Don't flatter yourself."
Can you say gaslighting?
Right.
I said, okay, we're doing all the steps at one time.
Yes, yes. For this movie to be as short and sweet and to the point as it is, it's a lot going on in just such a
An hour and 23 minutes.
amount of time. Because the run time on this movie is not long, but it is packed
Yeah.
in these little scenes. So then they change clothes, of course, or she changes clothes. No, he did too, because he put on some
In the
of
bathroom.
Jeffrey's
Yeah.
clothes. And
Which
that
I
sweater was fitting good.
Which I was like, wait, Jeffrey is way bigger than you, sir.
I think
At the top.
he's taller,
Mm-hmm.
but
And I was like, y'all just had some Idris clothes in here.
They did.
of course.
They did. But then when they get out the shower, and I was like, dang, you didn't double tap him again. Because she stabbed him, I think, this time, didn't she?
She hit him over the
She
head
hit him
again.
with the hard lamp,
That's right.
the old school lamp with the.
She did.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you didn't double tap him again. You hit him one time and ran. I was like, oh, Lord Jesus. Please, ma'am, multiple times. When are they going to get this right in movies? You got to hit the person multiple times.
This the third head injury.
Like, literally, this man should be stumbling over. In reality,
he crazy,
reality,
though.
he wouldn't have gotten to her house to begin with, because
Right.
that
He should
car
have had a
accident
concussion.
would have had him slumped over somewhere. But I digress. This is now, yes, the third head injury you have sustained. You have fallen down the stairs, so your back got to be throwed off. When you in your 40s, because I think probably in this time he was in his 40s, you can't handle that kind of, stumbling. Like,
But crazy people strong.
that.
That's why I said
Man.
them type of people have strength.
Because I mean, they not. There's the fail safe is no longer in there. You know how you could accidentally bite your tongue, but in real life you're not gonna do that on purpose.
Right.
He would do it on purpose.
Oh, man, it's so much. But then they leave in the house.
Well, no. So after she hit him on top of the head, that's when he was chasing her around the house.
Oh, see.
And then she got the letter opener and then stabbed him.
Oh, see, I had
Got
kind
him
of
in
blacked out around this point.
Got him in that good side.
I
area.
did. Oh yeah, I did see her get him in the side, because then he was like, ah. But I was like,
And I was like, how he didn't bleed out?
Well, he was, but he
But
was
being-
still running.
and being stabbed in the stomach, movies make it worse than what it is. Like, it would take a lot to be stabbed in the stomach for it to really turn into something, because there's not a lot of vital organs in this area. It's just a bunch of fat. And
Now, if he got stabbed in his back in that same area, it's
you
gonna
could've
be
got
some
the kidneys.
problems. Yeah.
But from the front, but the movies always make getting stabbed in the stomach like it's some,
Well, it was on the side.
yeah, it was kind of like right here.
No, I don't remember where. I just
I
know it was on the
mean,
side.
she could have hit the appendix, but we don't need that.
But he was still, he was just like, it's a flesh wound. And then,
It's still caught up. I said, this man gave Freddie, Jason, and Michael a run for their money. He did all the sequels in one movie.
he did. He took a licking and kept on ticking.
Yes.
So then, yeah, but she's still trying to get away, and of course she don't.
Because it's hard. How you going to run with the kids? You really have to set up the situation to be
Well, it
able
was
to
gonna be
do that.
hard anyway because she has a handheld baby. You ain't gonna be able to really do nothing with a handheld baby.
Mm-mm.
Not
Now,
much.
now
it's
with
gonna
the
slow
little
you
girl,
down.
you can kind of
Drag.
drag her and move your feet.
Girl, I'm about to be on that arm.
Yeah.
You'll be, Fred Flintstone and you out here just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
But yeah. So then they they leave the house and they in the car, and she's trying her best to do her nice demure convincing of going to the hospital. But he like, B, please, we not going
I ain't
to
even
no
bleeding
hospital.
no more.
Okay.
You
We not
mine.
going to no
We
hospital.
go together now.
And then she tried. I like you and I want you.
So you mine.
Now we can do this the easy way
Or the hard.
or the hard way.
So I'm taking you to the house that we got.
Okay. So she tried her best. She did her little flash when the cop was at the other across the street at the stop sign.
I'm so glad this part made me glad that they have like codes for DV now.
Okay. I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Cause at first it was looking like he won't gonna stop, but then he was like, man,
Let me go and do it.
yeah, she flashed. I don't know. Oh, I don't feel like doing this today. But then he, do a little woo and pull him over, and here, Colin in the car like, don't you, hey,
I got the baby.
don't you be up here slipping and trying to do no craziness and trying to get out of here because I'm gonna hurt your baby. But in my head I was thinking, would he really hurt the baby? Because at this point, you could have been hurt the kids. If your goal was her, you would have been easy to get them out of the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have tested it though.
No, not that gangster.
Mm-mm.
And then his goal is
I would have tested it when I got out because I'd have been doing some like.
I would have. That's why I'm saying I'm glad they have codes now because she could have did the hand stuff that whatever they got going on.
No, sir. We're definitely whole time just like do I know sign language? Because I'd been like, whatever the sign for danger is, like, and
or
that whole
pizza or whatever they're supposed to when they call.
okay.
My thing is though with this police officer, I was like, sir, you know she done flashed you. Why you
Obtuse.
ain't already ready?
Right. Why you ain't already called for backup? Because this lady done flashed you. And she already the little girl said, where's daddy? And she already seemed suspect. So why you ain't already called for backup?
The way he
handled this
was horrible.
I said, talk about non-protecting and serving.
Yeah, he handled this horribly.
I was like, you didn't even protect yourself, sir. You couldn't. I felt like we was watching an old school Western and they had to draw their gun and
Yes.
his weapon didn't even get out the holster.
Nope.
It's like, don't y'all practice this?
And what I'm trying to figure out is, ma'am, why you didn't sprint to the car to get in and drive the hell off?
When he started dragging him?
Well, no, that, and when you you standing there screaming.
Oh.
That could have been your 10 steps that you needed to make real quick and speed the hell off.
She could have. She wasn't. That adrenaline, adrenaline get pumping and everything shut down. You don't even know. Yeah. But I did think the cop, I was like, man, he drew slow.
Yes.
I was like, that was real slow. I'm not even a gun person, and I probably would have shot faster than that.
He got that without the gun, one of them Clio from Set It Off. Where and he only got shot one time.
And you got a bulletproof vest on, don't you, sir?
Who knows?
Where's your vest?
Well, this,
Yeah.
This was too much.
I was
too
upset.
much. But, of course, I said, this is what happened when you go trying to be a good Samaritan. So then they arrive at the house that we learn
is Alexis.
Is Alexis's house.
Who he murdered earlier in the movie.
Mm-hmm. And Terry will soon learn herself.
Yes.
Now, I was thinking there's this scene, these next sets of scenes. I was like, this is a lot of like having to push your emotions down to get through a situation.
Yeah.
Because in the midst of all of this scene, she learns that her husband.
Go back.
Mm.
Because you gotta, we can't skip over.
You gotta set it up.
Like, so when they get in, he's like, "Hey, go put the baby, go tuck the kids in."
Yeah.
So she sets little Junior in there, and then puts Ron back in the bed for the 15th time. And then he's like, "Okay, now come on, patch me up, go on in there." So the lights are completely off. He liked the dark, evidently. And she's like, I can't find it. But then she turns around with this big basket of like, I guess, alcohol and them things. And we see the body of Alexis is still in the same spot it was. He didn't even move her or nothing. She just,
because she was
chilling.
nothing.
Now she ain't no use. And so she screamed, not she is, she's unalived, but Terry is screaming and he's like, shut up. And then the car goes off yet again, which is her saving grace in this particular situation. So he wraps her up with the gauze and lays her on the floor next to the corpse of his ex-fiance. Now go ahead.
Yes. Yes.
And then the phone call comes in.
Yes. Because this is where she learns that her husband has been having an affair with Alexis. Boom. Drop one of Clue's bombs. Because I couldn't even imagine you're already traumatized by all the things that have been taking place for however many hours.
2 dead bodies in 10 minutes.
Yeah, from however many minutes or hours this has been.
3, because she saw Meg.
Oh, that's true. So now I've done seen.
Yeah, that's true.
Who's the third?
The police
The
officer.
police
Oh, the
officer.
police officer. That's right. Sorry, man. I forgot about you. Like now all of that, and now I learn like why you calling? Like, hold on, wait a minute. Why is this the voice that I'm hearing?
And I was telling Dr. Wall, her husband's so gone. He didn't even realize that it was his.
And
How
they
you
don't
know?
sound none of like one of y'all got an accent for that region, and one of you is black.
I know. I was like, how does he not recognize that that's his wife? And she's using your name.
Right.
Like,
And it don't sound like Alexis.
at all. Jeffrey.
And you
You,
steady talking
you
about
should
I'm at the
know
hotel.
how your wife called your name.
You said, I've been at the hotel. I'm here.
But you see that anger come up. She's like, Jeffrey, call the damn police. Call them right now. Like,
She's unalived.
your girlfriend dead. I said, now, ma'am, it sounds like you might have did it, but
Right, it did.
But again, emotions run high.
It do.
And funny things start happening. And she somehow is able to get free.
it was a shard of that pot that he was beating her with.
And she started cutting it.
That's right.
Got herself free. She
herself-
set up the trap this time.
She did.
Which I thought he was so stupid. I was like, sir, she got a whole baby. How's she gonna get out the window?
I think what helped her was because that the burp cloth was down there on the floor too. I think that's what helped. He's like, okay, she could have shimmied down. She could have had the girl on her back.
Wasn't
And she could have the baby.
I got you, but still, it's a handheld baby, sir. How was how is
he
she gonna
gone,
hold
but
herself?
he
He's
gone.
like, I could have did it.
He gone.
Cause you a man, sir.
No, because
But
he's
still.
crazy.
That's what I'm saying. He is gone. Logic has left
his
the building.
spiral is
Yeah.
The spiral is there is no more spiral. He's at the bottom. Like the spiral
He's got
is,
at the bottom of the spiral.
it is done. It is done. It is written.
he is at the base of the rabbit hole.
And then they start their little tussle.
Man, oh man. When I say
She finally did the double tap.
this is the DA, the assistant DA. This who you are, ma'am. Because every time he threw you, every time he thought it was something else. Let me get to my notes. So the sneak attack, because he walks up the stairs because she done hid the kids finally. And
I was so hoping that baby wouldn't have woke up and
Thank
baby
God.
make noises at the wrong time.
yes, thank God he didn't. But he almost went to the closet that she had hid them in. So she made noise. He came on up. So then this the order, the sneak attack. It was a stab. Then she threw him off because Jeffrey's on his way. I called him. He called.
Oh,
he
yeah.
called. Blah blah.
And he
blah,
was
blah,
like,
blah.
"What?"
So he is coming. Then it was a stab again. Then she bust him in the head 2 times. Then he got stabbed again.
Yes.
Then she shot him 5 times, and then he fell out the window.
I was like, finally, she did the double tap.
The way her possum was on each time. She was hand under the dresser. Don't nobody's unconscious hand fall under the dresser. She said, boop, boop, boop. I said, okay. That's the Taraji. That's Cookie right there. That's the one
Yes.
we needed.
Yes. I was so glad. And then I was wondering if they were going to do the thing in the movie where, you look down and they there, but then you look back and then they gone. Because they never actually show you like he was put into a body bag or, they don't show him.
Dead.
But they don't show anything of him after that.
You just
so the
see
assumption is that he's dead, but I was like,
she unloaded the rest of the clip though, so
Hopefully.
I was like, because I kind of said
50 Cent was shot 9 times.
First of all, it hit no vital organ. Who was the shooter? Sir, you hit everywhere but center of mass.
Yes. But he's, no longer here. And then I was like, the
Oh my
narcissist,
God.
the pure
this
narcissism
right
of her
here.
husband. Why literally is the first thing out your mouth when you see your wife is not, baby, are you okay? How the kids? Where the kids? None of that. It's to tell her that the woman you was cheating with didn't mean nothing to you. That's the first thing you say to me? You see all this. You see all these cops. You see the ambulance. You see what I look like.
You don't even know if I'm the one who unalived her.
And the first thing you say is, it didn't mean nothing. You would have got cold cocked too.
I'd have
Like
been
she did.
I love I love that slap the shit out of you game she had on her.
She
did.
hit him so hard he fell on the ground. This is a big man.
Yes.
Big, nice caramel man. But he's a big man. If y'all have ever seen, I can't think of what other movies he's played in, but he always played a boyfriend that don't make it to the end of the movie because he get broke up with or something. But I would have been talking to him like, it didn't mean nothing. It didn't mean nothing when I almost died 3 times a minute ago. It didn't mean nothing when your kids almost died. It didn't mean nothing
None of that.
Because
Meg
you the reason
dead.
why he at our house.
My thing is, can you imagine?
Yeah.
How do you, I was saying this to Dr. Jones-Hines before the session. Can you imagine what does divorce look like?
Oh,
How do you
my
explain
God.
this to
Right.
everybody? How do you explain this to the judge? How do like
It don't, because it doesn't make any sense.
your one action
Led-
killed how many people in
5. So Mr. Francis.
Well, no.
Well, that
'Cause that's
didn't lead-
after.
That's
It
before.
would be Meg
The
Alexis.
and the police
and
officer.
the police
So
officer.
3 more deaths. So he killed 5
And
more.
ain't no telling who he killed to get them clothes in that truck.
True. So we know he killed 5 people in the movie that we saw.
Yes.
But 3 of them are the result of your actions, sir. And almost your wife and your children.
Yes.
For no reason other than you don't know how to effectively communicate what your needs and wants are to your wife.
You just walking around here being an F boy.
Man.
I'd have knocked
Pure. Because literally the first thing you said, you didn't say, I love you. I'm so glad you're okay. You made it about you.
You didn't even say nothing about your kids.
narcissism. Because
You
he don't want them damn kids.
Because he said it in the beginning. You wanted this. I didn't. So, of course, in pure covert narcissist
Yes.
fashion.
This your fault, but I'm gonna make you feel bad. It's the emotional pull every time. Girl, I was looking, I said, okay, you better not take him back.
Oh
Because
God.
this ended. Now, this ending was like, shoop.
Yes.
Now, this was the quickest, like,
She was like,
come back ever.
I'm
She
wrap
done
up.
done.
She done went back to work.
okay,
She
I
ain't
said
got
they,
no choice. She's
That's
like, I'm
true.
not fit to do this.
they wrapped this up.
Well, she
real
could have got
quick.
his money. Hell, he cheated.
No, I'm pretty sure she got a lovely settlement, but
Because
she
she
was like,
moved to
oh,
Buckhead.
And alimony.
mhm.
Oh yeah, when I saw she moved to Buckhead, I said, "Yeah, you got a big old alimony check
Uh-huh,
every
that's all.
month."
I said, oh, she doing all right. She done moved to Buckhead. Okay.
Because I guarantee she got pain and suffering.
Mm-hmm.
She got alimony.
Stuff from the city or the state.
Oh yeah,
Yes, because they let him go and didn't do what they needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got child support for 2 kids.
And probably the federal, the Bureau of Corrections.
Mm.
So many,
And
and the
then-
level, and you're a
then-
lawyer on top of that.
And then got her job back.
right.
I guarantee she right back at the DA office.
Oh, I'm sure.
She
Doing
might be
just-
the DA.
Doing just fine.
just fine.
I was, ooh.
It was a lot.
She looked so good though. She had a little hair.
her hair
little
always be.
wig, good.
There's only been maybe a couple movies I've seen where her hair is like questionable.
And it wasn't her fault. It wasn't her fault. It was their fault.
It was for the period of the movie that it was
Yeah.
made in. But usually
Yes.
her hair be fire.
Yeah. And you see little Jeffrey was good. Still sleeping. Lil Ron jumping ready. And she got a nanny.
Good.
Got her some help.
And we even got a little picture of
That's all you-
Meg
We
at the
did.
end. Because she's like, Meg had my back. Meg saved you.
Yeah.
That's really, Meg helped you out.
Yeah, that was a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out. Let's pour out some for Meg.
Drip, 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 drip.
Okay. But that's it. Any final thoughts about this one? You know, because like we said, guys, this movie was quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah.
Like they didn't waste no time getting to what was happening in this
I
film.
know. So I would just say to women, whenever you get married, don't change for him. Change for you and because of the way your life is going so that you can continue on the trajectory that you're supposed to be going on. Because evidently the woman that you were when you met him is the woman that he wanted to be with. But a lot of times women feel like, oh, he said he want this type of woman, and so you start trying to change into the woman that he wants you to be. And that's people
That's
don't know.
not you.
We already talked to y'all in another session about what people say they want, and then they get it, and then they don't want it.
And what you want evolves over time. So, you know, you individually are going to evolve. Your partner is going to evolve, you know, and you got to communicate this evolution the whole way through, you know, and not manage your expectations on what that's going to look like.
Another part of that, though, that I'd like to add on to for the stereotypically, the man's perspective, show up as your authentic self from the get-go. Don't become somebody that you think she wants in the beginning of the relationship, and then you show up as your real self, and then you mad because that ain't who she want.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
that.
everybody got to be authentic.
Everybody.
Yes. And don't let strangers in your house.
Oh God.
And how about don't
Trust your gut.
do full remodels on your house while you living in it, unless you the contractor.
Especially if your house is going to be unsecure and unsafe.
With your kids in it.
And this movie is a testament to trust your instincts. You know, if something feel off, you have just as many nerves in your stomach as you do in your brain, which is why we have gut feelings. So, you know, that there's research about it. Go do your Googles.
Yeah.
So you have a gut feeling for a reason. So sometimes you do need to trust it. Like the old folks say, I should have went with my first mind. A lot of times it don't steer you wrong.
Nope.
So trust yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you have more resources than you probably give yourself credit for.
And to all my Caucasian people who have black best friends, okay, you can't talk to the other black people crazy, because you're gonna end up like Meg. Okay, so don't do that. Okay,
You only are able to talk to your best friend like that because you have a relationship with them.
yeah.
But don't go too far.
Because even then,
Yes.
there is a line.
Yes.
Agreed. Okay, so what we gonna do as far as rating? We gonna do stars or ABC?
I'm fine. Yeah.
We gonna do stars? Legit, I'm probably gonna give this one a solid like 2.75.
I was going to say a 3.0.
So movie wise, I would give it. I technically would probably give it like a 3.5 or a 4 because they acted well.
Oh, yeah.
And all of that. And I would technically give it a 5 for the purpose of showing appropriate malignant narcissism. But there were some flaws in this movie as far as like how things
Played
would
out.
really go. First of all, I really think Terry would have died, first of all, in real life. And them kids would have just been in there by themselves.
First off, Colin would have been dead.
That too.
Because he would not have been able to break out of an armored vehicle like that.
Right. Right.
It's so many things.
So I would say, as far as the acting, I do agree with you.
Yeah.
Like
Yes,
the
the
acting is
was
like
good.
I'll give a 5.
But there was some faux pas in there.
Yeah, that's what
So
I'm
the
giving a 3 for.
Yeah, it has to come down.
Yeah, the overall movie together is what lowers it for me.
Yeah.
But if we start
Yes.
pulling out individual pieces,
Yes.
Yeah.
like, you know, realism with malignant narcissists, I definitely would put it in the probably a 4
Yeah, yeah.
category.
Yeah.
I love Taraji and
So
Idris.
Taraji and Idris, y'all did,
They
and
got-
Meg, you did your thing too.
And Ryan.
and Ryan.
Baby
Yeah,
Ryan.
did
She
her
was in
thing.
there.
Yeah, so
Knocking
y'all,
people out.
yeah, so y'all, no, right. So y'all did y'all thing. Yeah, the acting was phenomenal.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
they-
we not talking about the acting
Yeah,
part.
It's just the
acting is-
overall movie.
It's 5. You know, just the plot itself. You know,
Yeah.
there are a lot of plot holes in this movie, a lot of unrealistic scenarios, and as most movies are. So we
Yeah.
understand that most movies are going to have a lot of unrealistic scenarios and outcomes. But I think that is what kind of
Brings it down.
and the speed of the movie.
It was
Like,
super fast.
You know, like everything is boom, 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 and
Yeah, you blink, you done missed it.
right.
Yeah.
So I think some of those things together is what brings it down
Yes.
for me.
Yeah.
But I would not say it's a bad film.
No, I would say it's really a good film. I mean, if y'all are Taraji P. Henson or Idris Elba fan, y'all, hey,
Yeah.
they still giving you them, you know.
It's right up your alley.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, so next month, guys, we're doing another themed month, and next month's theme is attachment. So we're going to learn all about the different ways that we develop relationships from childhood, and how that affects us. So we're going to be looking at like secure attachments, insecure attachments, what those mean, how they play into adulthood, all of that kind of stuff. And we will have a special guest at the end of the month, or for the third week of the month.
Fire.
So we are starting a new series. So just like we have Movie Mental Breakdown, we are starting something called Shrink Wrapped. So anytime we have a guest on the podcast, that will be that episode's
Title.
debut title, all that kind of stuff. So we've got Movie Mental Breakdown, Shrink Wrapped. So those are our 2 main segments that we've got going on. Please let us know in the comments what you think about that, and we will
And the movie mental breakdown for next month is Deliver Us from Eva.
so go watch it.